hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment. That matter to people are rumoring and they're pickering, saying Simon Ekpa this, Simon Ekpa that, because he said he is approaching some countries to tell them to recognize Biafra, approaching them individually, differently is better than waiting for united body to accept Biafra. Because if actually he goes to them or differently, what this one decide will not be what the other one decide, or all of them may accept, and then not gang up against Biafra, because Biafra must stand. Nigeria is an Islamic state and must not be pushed or forced on everyone. If there are people that are clamoring for separation, they should be given a chance. Give them a chance and give them breathing space. The tension is everywhere. The street is too rowdy. Everybody is reacting. Let's watch and listen to one of the popular reactors on the street.
Good morning, Mr. Arafumechi. Morning. Let us look at the two from Simon Ekpa that has gone viral. That he have written to the Canadian government to recognize Biafra as a sovereign state. Apart from Canada, he say he have written to other nations of the world. But the one that stands out that the name of the country is mentioned is specifically Canada. Do you think this is the way to go? And do you think Canada recognizing Biafra as a sovereign state will add to boosting or making Biafra come faster? Yeah. First of all, let me just shock the world. That is one of the most important moves Simon Ekpa has made in the recent time. Ask me why. Why? The headquarters of NATO is in Canada. So if Canada, as the home base of NATO, not Atlantic Treaty Organization, could accept Biafra, it means generally Biafra has scored, is a big scorecard. People will score Ekpa's administration, they will give him big mark. That's a big move for Biafrans, a big move for Biafra sovereignty, and I can actually tell you that all the countries under NATO, they are going to actually support Biafra. So the guy is very intelligent. I don't know where he got all this brain from, because Canada, I know, only United States, Israel, they are the one that are on top of Canada. As I'm talking to you now, it's one of the most advanced countries. It's the host. He hosts NATO office. I didn't understand. As second largest office in the world, apart from Pentagon, NATO office in Canada follows. So I don't know where Simon Ekpa got all these, suggestions, brain, wisdom from. I don't know whether because he's an Igbo man from Igbo extraction. Because everything about Igbo is thinking wide, making it enterprisingly, in all facets of life. In fact, applying to Canada to recognize Biafra is one of the greatest achievements Simon Ekpa has ever made so far in this agitation transaction. We understand that Canada is at liberty to either accept, recognize, or do not want to recognize. Do you think Canada will actually recognize Biafra as a sovereign state? Let me tell you, Canada is not Britain. Canada is not Britain. Listen and listen good. Canada, they speak English. Canada, they speak French. I think you understand. Listen to what I'm saying. At least in Quebec. I think in Quebec, French is widely spoken in Quebec. Alberta, and so on and so forth. So, I'm telling you, Canada, we are not forcing Canada, but I'm telling you that Nigeria will never, ever force Canada not to accept Biafra. Canada has its own liberty to accept anybody, to reject anybody. But in the case of Biafra, Canada, they have been following the diaries of happenings in Igbo land. Diary of international events, I think Canada must be at the forefront of knowing what is going on worldwide. So when I talk about international diary, what has been happening over the years 2020, since 2027, when Buhari went to Nnamdi Kanu's town and destroyed everywhere, is still trending online, and I think a country like Canada is advanced enough to be following up. Okay, now, and the Kano and the group of the agitators went to United Nations to take arms to know if they could allow Biafra to take arms in defense of what Nigerian military forces are doing to the IPOB in the southeastern Nigeria. United Nations recognizing the Kano's request, and today they have taken up arms. So Canada should not be left out. I believe it should not be left out. Canada will actually do the needful.
Now, we understand that the Biafrans are the most traveled in Nigeria. Anywhere you go,
anywhere in the world,
you see that, whether Canada, Britain, Russia.
In fact, Biafra is the most traveled country in the world.
So travelers, where they are going, do you think their presence everywhere in the world will help in facilitating their recognition as a sovereign state?
That is one of the best features and factors that Biafra possess, and that will give them a one-way trafficator to the world's recognition. World, I don't mean country. World's recognition everywhere. Even Nigeria must recognize them without at least, begging Nigeria. As I'm talking to you now, Biafra is a household name in Nigeria. They have already recognized in Nigeria here. Only that Fulani Hausa, they are dragging their foot and legs. Only Hausas in the north alone, they have been giving the hit to Nigerian nation, Nigerian government allow Biafra to go. Anywhere you go in Africa, French-speaking Africans, they recognize Biafra during the war of 1967 to 1970. The whole Francophones, to the level that Ojukwu's last home was Ivory Coast. He lived there, he married there, his business, his father's business, thrived in that country. Then the first place to host Ojukwu was Gabon. Gabon hosted Ojukwu for years before Ojukwu absconded into Ivory Coast, that is Côte d'Ivoire. So all over Africa, Central African Republic, Congo, should I tell you our relationship with Congo or Central African or Equatorial Guinea? Am I going to tell you what Rhodesia, the former Rhodesia, did during Biafran War? They incorporated Biafra into Eastern Africa. Rhodesia, was Zimbabwe. Currently Zimbabwe, Rhodesia. They recognized Africa. The East Africans, they fought for Biafra in the beginning of the war. Yes, they first of all now invaded Midwest, where David Ejo was in charge, and David Ejo absconded with his Basco. Are you listening to me? These Eastern African forces helped Biafra a lot in the beginning of the war. So let me tell you, the fact that Biafrans are the most traveled people in the world, it is a more or less fact, that the whole countries of the world are giving the one-way acceptance, recognition. Are you listening to me? That's my take.
In the event that Canada eventually recognizes Biafra as a sovereign state, what does it mean for the struggle of Biafra?
Yeah, it's just I tell you, scorecard is there. It will give us high score. It will give us high fame. It is gonna give us, United Nations recognition or top of recognition. They formally recognize us. But if Canada does this time around, it means the whole NATO are behind us. And Igbo man will not waste time to join NATO. Because since you know that we are with Israel, Israel is with us. Israel doesn't listen to anybody. Likewise, what Biafra is doing again now in Nigeria. Nigeria has done their worst, and the Biafrans are not listening. Biafra, as a country, is not listening to anything Nigeria again. They have done their worst. If Canada ever recognizes us, it is a one-way trafficator. For what? One-way breakthrough to emancipation of Biafra.
Okay, now let us look at the role of Britain in global politics. We understand that Britain has been severally accused by Biafrans of sabotaging the effort of Biafra actualization. Do you think Britain has what it takes to influence Canada not to recognize Biafra sovereign states?
No. Hell no. And the capital no. Do you know why?
Why?
British holes to suppress and still neo-colonize its colonial countries in the past is on alarming rate, and is overwhelmingly not accepted by the present United Nations, the present democratic dispensations all over African continent. They are at the back, fronting some wicked African politicians who are fueling the fire of neo-colonialism. Britain is gone. They are no longer in Africa, but they are still making African resources. That's where they got the bad name, British and the French. See, let me tell you, Britain can never do more than a dead rat if Canada accepts Biafra. Britain is the problem Igbo man has today. Britain is one of the problems Israel has today in the Middle East. See, let me tell you, Britain is not going to do anything. And I tell you that the role Britain played from 1967 to 1970 during the Nigerian Biafran Civil War, Britain was busy supplying Nigerian military clique with arms. And to the eyes of the world and the world reporters and people who are veterans, experts in war, to tell you what's about war situation, it began to look like genocide. And certainly Britain fueled the fuel of genocide in Igbo land. I think understand, supporting Nigeria to kill innocent Igbo youths, innocent Igbo men, innocent Biafran soldiers. Britain committed the genocide we are accusing Nigeria of, because Britain was the one in support of constant supplies of what military warfare to Nigeria against a country that doesn't have stick or machetes. So what we did then for us, when we attack Nigerians, we overpower them, we collected their weapons and use it against them. They will retreat. We resisted Nigeria for 36 months. Isn't that a miracle? Britain can never do more than a dead rat. Let me tell you, British policy under the Prime Minister of Britain during when Nigeria and Biafrans were fighting was too brutal and ruthless. They keep on supplying Nigerian military with weapons, and actually everybody believed it was a genocide, and certainly it was the biggest bloodbath in African history. I was so very thank you, Mr. Arafubechi. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, our brother. You are very, very intelligent, courageous, and bold. Yes, Biafrans are standing up, this time without delay, without fear, or without any favor. It is now or never. We have had that bloodbath before. On a very good day, we are not supposed to mention Biafra. But because it's a spirit and it doesn't die, and the people are resilient and they don't take trash, they don't settle for less, they are ego, they are not vultures and they are not chickens. All right? Biafrans are ego, they are soaring higher and higher, no matter what and no matter where. So that is why we cannot settle for less in Nigeria. We want separation from Nigeria and we want formation of Biafra. We want declaration of Biafra, and that is it. Thank you very much once again for your time on this very channel.